All right, guys, welcome back to another video. This generation has been, I say, completely defined by games from the previously exclusive platforms going over to other platforms, basically becoming multi-platform. We've seen Xbox obviously do it, putting games onto PlayStation, which is the major thing. And now we are seeing more and more, which they've done multiple times already, but PlayStation do this with putting more games onto PC. And not only that, giving IPs away to the Nintendo Switch with the Lego Horizons game, but one of the biggest exclusives that PlayStation has, just from notoriety, IP status, all that stuff, is Spider-Man. And Spider-Man 2 is now making its way over to PC, which is a continuation of PlayStation going multi-platform, having to open up their ecosystem and get more people to go in and check out their games outside of the PlayStation consoles. And I find this announcement very interesting because of the timing of it, just before the release of the PlayStation 5 Pro, which, you know, there are going to be instant comparisons on how well this game runs on the PS5 Pro versus the PC. And the question will continue to arise as to whether it's even worth getting a PS5 Pro if all of the games where you're going to get these enhancements for are going to be ending up on a PC anyway, which you are going to be able to run these games better, obviously depending on the hardware that you have. But PlayStation put out an announcement, a blog post, really weird timing, I would say. It was later on a Friday as people are heading into the weekend. Maybe they were just kind of putting this out there on the Friday to build that hype for the weekend when there is nothing else that generally comes out in terms of news. And now everyone's going to be talking about Spider-Man 2 and PC and where does PlayStation go from here, from their future games and everything. Or maybe they were just trying to put this out at this point and then they'll continue to talk about it later, not to piss off some of the major PlayStation console fanboys who are going to see more of the games going on to PC and be annoyed by it and make a lot of noise on social media, although those are going to be the vast minority of the voices out there, the loud minority, I should say. But this is the announcement that PlayStation did put out. They say, Marvel Spider-Man 2 is officially coming to PC, announced on Marvel's stage at New York Comic-Con today. Our latest entry in the critically acclaimed Marvel Spider-Man franchise, which arrives on PC January 30th, 2025 via Steam and the Epic Game Store. And of course, I mean, New York Comic-Con as well is a great place to announce, so that does make sense to get people who potentially aren't into video games or play video games to say, hey, maybe I want to check this out. I love the movies. I love the comics. It's not my number one hobby, video games, but maybe I'll go in there and check this out because I love Spider-Man. And it opens up your ecosystem and it opens up your fan base to a broader range of people, which is something we're continuously seeing, especially with all the TV shows going out there. One of the main reasons for a lot of these TV shows is to bring more and new people to the IP and then potentially get them to go and dabble in all of the different parts of that IP, which would include the video games. If you think about the Last of Us TV show, you think about the Fallout TV show and how big of a boost those brought to the actual games themselves. They go here and say, once again, we're happy to share the PC version is being developed and optimized by our friends at Nixxes Software in close collaboration with Insomniac Games, PlayStation, and Marvel Games. And they talk about just bringing it over and the collaboration and everything. And we kind of had a hint that Nixxes is working on another big game for the PC platform on a LinkedIn post we talked about a few weeks back. So this was probably the one that they were secretly mentioning in that LinkedIn post. Now, when it does launch on PC, you're going to have the standard edition and the digital deluxe edition. So that is what is coming, which you're going to be able to get, one of those two copies of the game itself. With the standard edition, of course, you get the complete game and all of the latest updates since Marvel Spider-Man 2's PS5 launch. They list a bunch of things here. And then with the digital deluxe edition, you get, again, the complete game with the updates above, plus some extra unlocks, some early unlocks and exclusive suits and everything that is not in the standard edition of the game. Now, the other really interesting thing here that they did announce is that this seems like it is the end of Spider-Man 2. There will be no additional content coming for this game. This is the last big dive for them to be able to try to make more money off of this release, as they do say here, while we have no additional story content planned for Marvel Spider-Man 2, we're delighted to bring all of our previously released post-launch content to the PC version, including the new game plus, new suits, color variants, photo mode features, and more. So this is the end of Spider-Man 2. This is their last hurrah to make money off of this game, putting it on PC, which I think will do very, very well. I mean, Spider-Man always does well pretty much wherever it does go. And you have to ask yourself, with the recent things we've been seeing at PlayStation, with Herman Hulst coming in, with Bungie and kind of a failure of acquisition that has been so far, and they've specifically said they want to expand their ecosystem out, will they start releasing their games on PC closer to day and date that they release it on the PlayStation 5? I do believe this will be the case at some point in the future. I mean, I have been saying this now for a while, so I'll keep saying it, and if it does come true, I'll pat myself on the back, and if it doesn't, well, I'll just keep saying it until hopefully it does come true. But I do think we will start to see a closer day-and-date release with PC and PlayStation 5 to try to cash in more for the PC release and opening it up to way more people with PCs of all different power they're going to be able to play these games. And as I said, it is an interesting release because the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out. Now, the PS5 Pro, there's been a lot of discussion around the price. Is it worth it? What does it compare to with a PlayStation 5 and as well as PC? What GPU does it compare to? You have people saying 4070. You have really crazy people saying a 4090. I'm sure it is somewhere less than both of those and maybe comparable in some ways, depending on, I guess, your entire rig that you have to certain PCs out there. But we won't really know until these games come out. We see the full testing and then you kind of see what makes these games run and what makes it special to get it on the PS5 Pro. My opinion, it's not even going to be the hardware in the PS5 Pro. It's not going to be the actual GPU and the extra power in there. We know the CPU is pretty much the exact same. It's going to be the PlayStation Super Resolution or the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, whatever it's called, the PSSR. That is going to be the future of this console and also going to be the future, I think, for the next generation of consoles, which is going to be major AI upscaling to just really help give good performance when these games release, because this is a major issue going forward with Unreal Engine 5 and how are they going to pull out all the juice of these consoles. So we're getting a 60 FPS performance mode, which is the main way that people do want to play these games. But we have this here, Digital Foundry, of course, doing a lot of analysis here on the PS5 Pro. They're saying something that is kind of interesting, and I wonder if this will come to light, but if it does, this may be a big win here for the PS5 Pro. They say, speaking during the latest episode of their weekly podcast, the tech experts at Digital Foundry commented on the soon-to-be released mid-generation refresh hardware from Sony, highlighting how the system could be sort of a nuclear option to enjoy multi-platform games with bad PC ports thanks to the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution upscaler, which will likely be used over AMD FSR in the vast majority of games, as performance concerns could be the only reason developers may continue to go for AMD's upscaler over the AI-powered one, making its debut with the PS5 Pro in certain scenarios such as 120 Hz mode. So that would be a very interesting thing to see. Developers are going to be going here with PSSR as their upscaler for their games and making the PS5 Pro probably a decent option here for the multi-platform games. That is something that we have to keep our eye on because, as I've said, we're continuously talking about, oh, the GPU is this much more powerful or whatever. And we'll talk about all this as well when the next generation does come out. But I think for consoles specifically, unless they're really going to jack the prices up to a crazy number, it's going to be this AI upscaling that allows these bigger AAA games using Unreal Engine 5 and just demand a lot of power to be able to run these games at a high performance. It's going to be the AI upscaling that really allows them to do this. So I am quite interested in the PSSR and how good this technology is going to be. And if it is very good, what is Xbox going to do on their next console to have their own PSSR competitor to take it on? But I'll end the video there. I thought this was some interesting news here late on a Friday night. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts about all of this stuff is in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.